Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Norristown Area High School Gymnasium for tonight's Boys Suburban 1 League basketball action between the Panthers of Cheltenham and the Flying Eagles of Norristown. My name is Neil Schaefer. I'm joined by John Price, guest appearance here on NASD TV. And John, this is one game that Coach McGee has been looking forward to all year as the Panthers come in here 13-4.
Yeah, it's a 13-4 team, but it's a tough 13-4 team. They're on a roll. They've won their last 7 ball games. They had a rough start from the beginning, but Coach Eveslage from Cheltenham has the ship righted in the correct direction. And really, a lot of people in town might have overlooked this game for the Friday matchup against Hatboro, but this is the same game. Really, this is going to be just as good of a game.
Definitely, Coach McGee is pointing towards both these games and not putting all his eggs in one basket for Friday's Hatboro-Horsham game. We're getting ready for the tip-off. I'll turn it over to John Price for the play-by-play.
This should be a great matchup. I think in opening tap we've got Sam Granham from Cheltenham. We'll try to get through the starting lineups as the action goes along there, but Brad Weldon takes control and into the able hands of Marcus Green to set up the offense. Cheltenham opens up in a man-to-man defense, which will result in plenty of collisions, I'm sure. Norris Allen controlling the ball. Inside, jump shot, Edmonds, who's starting in place of Wiggins tonight, goes a little long, rebound for Cheltenham. Good push up court. Bruce Hall, sophomore guard, finishes off for Cheltenham.
I guess this is what we're going to see a lot of running gun offense, running their length of the floor very quickly as Cheltenham gets out to an early 2-0 lead.
There will be no shortage of action this evening. Cheltenham opens up in a full court man-to-man press. Maurice Allen trying to set up Bruce Hall. Working from the top of the key. Kicks it out to Marcus. Green to the elbow. Elevates for the jumper. A little bit short. Kept alive, then lost. Jarrett Medley couldn't hang on to it. It will remain Norristown ball inside at the center spot for this Cheltenham team. The Bulgarian import. Zdravko, I'm going to try to get it right. Zdravko Markov, the junior center. It's his first year at Cheltenham.
He's from Bulgaria, and we know that the European teams do produce some very good basketball players. Is he used to United States basketball yet? We'll see tonight.
6'7" center. He's matched up by Lee Fowler, who's also 6'7", is Sam Granham, the senior forward from Cheltenham. Cuts through for the score to make it 4-0, just under 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Weldon over to Edmonds, who misses another shot. Cheltenham on the fast break. Nice job getting back on defense, Edmonds. But Granham will go to the line. Made a huge impact so far. Sam Granham jumped opening tap. You mentioned it early on. This guy looks like he can run.
He's got some very long legs and very loping strides. He could probably run the length of the floor very quickly. I think the Eagles are going to have to shut him down along with Markov. Markov just seems to be a presence inside, seems to clear some bodies out.
Indicative of the European style of play. Granham not strong from the line, misses the first. He'll get another shot at it. Wearing a rubber band on the right ankle. Some type of superstition. Rebound pulled in by Lee Fowler. Green to Allen. Allen backs it out.
Norristown with a lot of weapons on the floor at all times. Every single player has capability of shooting and making it as Green takes a three-pointer.
Marcus Green trying to get his shots off early. Nice job trying to keep it alive by Edmonds, but ends up in the hands of Jarrett Medley from Cheltenham. Marcus Green getting a little too assertive on the floor there. According to the referee, he'll be called with a foul. Our first infraction of the evening. 6:09 left to go here in the first quarter. 4-0. The visiting Cheltenham Panthers on top. Coach Eveslage and his committee of many on the bench coaching this squad, and there's Sam Granham again, the big 6'5" senior. A lot of seniors and upperclassmen on the floor tonight for both teams. Nice job pushing it up. Just a little bit short by Weldon. Kept alive, and Norristown gets another shot. Marcus Green definitely taking his looks tonight. Tries to get it inside to Fowler. Gets caught up in traffic. Cheltenham ball. From the corner, that was Bruce Hall. Rebound. Granham kept alive. Cheltenham's doing a great job on the board, and that's the first time we'll be able to say Zdravkov Markov.
One thing I see so far, John, is I see a lot of Norristown players just standing around doing nothing. You have to get back down the court against this Panther team because they're quick and they have a lot of shooters as well. as they take an early 6-0 lead, and Norristown calls timeout as Eric Wiggins gets off the bench for the Eagles. I see Lee Fowler standing down underneath the basket and looking for this foul and looking for that foul. He's not going to get it that way. He's not going to look to the officials for the appeal. He's going to have to get back down the court and play some defense.
As you mentioned, Coach McGee knew this was going to be a difficult game. Hopefully the players knew that as well, and we're not looking ahead to the next team on the schedule, which is, as we mentioned, Hatboro Horsham and Matt Carroll, the Notre Dame-bound Matt Carroll, who will be visiting us here in the gym later on in the week. Eric Wiggins is on the floor. That is a nice look on the inbounds. Medley to Granham.
Gee, you think
for an easy bucket. So far, they're throwing a shutout.
Do you think they practiced that shot?
8-0 Granham with great athleticism. They maintain this full court press. Maurice Allen handling the press breaking duties. Nice job getting it up to Green. Kicks it inside to Wiggins. And settle the ball up top. Maurice Allen working against Hall. Ball's a little short. Nice job trying to keep it alive inside Weldon. Wiggins kicks it up top. They're working it around the perimeter right now, trying to find a crease. Wiggins off the bench, bangs the three. All of a sudden it's 8-3. Wiggins single-handedly in about 15 seconds gets the momentum swung.
That's right. I told you before the game, Eric Wiggins is the leader of this team, both on the bench, off the bench, and in the starting role. And he is turning the tide right now as he enters the game.
And the momentum swings a little bit more in the favor of Norristown. Maurice Allen forces the point guard from Cheltenham into the turnover. He gets called with a walk. Norristown sets up on 0 again. Allen working baseline, kicks it up top, swing it back around to Wiggins, who they're going to have a close eye on. Green with another shot, launches it in the key, tries to get his own rebound. Nice athletic effort on the part of Medley, who gets the ball down to Bruce Hall. Up, he misses. Granham tries the put-back dunk. Not good enough, but a lot of athleticism down there. Bruce Hall, the 5'9" sophomore, ends up with the putback. 10-3 right now, 4 minutes left to go in the first. Brad Weldon gets his shot blocked by Markov. Right now, Neil, I'd say Norristown might be a little bit stunned.
Yes, they are. They seem to be stunned in many departments. They can't get a clean shot off because everyone's crowding their lane, and they're just as quick as this Cheltenham team, but Cheltenham's putting on a display right now as we see Granham move the court like a gazelle. Like a gazelle right by Eric Wiggins on our side of the court here. Norristown is as battle-tested as you can get. Only 2 losses so far this season, coming in at 17-2, undefeated in the league. They've lost to 2 out-of-state teams. Actually, 1 out-of-state team, but Harrisburg might as well be out-of-state because they're on the other side. Out-of-league teams. Markov, a little bit long. Marcus Green patiently working the ball into Wiggins. Lee Fowler inside against Markov. A little bit of contact inside. Ball rattles out to Granham's hands. And Medley brings the ball down the court for the Panthers. Tries to push it inside, just over the outstretched hands of Alex West. Cheltenham calls a timeout, or doesn't call a timeout. Granham thought they called a 20-second timeout. And Coach Eveslage didn't call a timeout. He was motioning to the referee that it was a tipped ball out of bounds. Granham misread it as a timeout. Well, now he's going to use it as a timeout, and hopefully for Coach Eveslage, it won't break the momentum of this team, but hopefully for Norristown it will. It's 10-3, 3:13 left to go in the first quarter. And it has been an up-and-down game. No shortage of action in the gym here at Norristown tonight. Norristown has seen this before against Abington, where they kept a close game. That was our last broadcast. Also against Souderton, who came out with nothing to lose. They put the Eagles down early, but the Eagles did battle back to win both those games, and hopefully they can do the same here. Plenty of firepower in the gym here for Norristown. Weldon from the side, a 3-point shot. So far, all Norristown shots coming on the trifecta. 10-6, just under 3 minutes left to go. First quarter action. Nice job in the anticipation by Maurice Allen. Stepping up and under is Jarrett Medley, the senior guard for the Panthers. He connects for the 3, 13-6, 2:44 left to go. Marcus Green trying to go around 2 Panthers. Steps on the line. Cheltenham ball. I know that Marcus Green is one of the top guards in the league. and he's shown his class here. He got called on a foul there and a violation there and a foul before. He's keeping his cool, and that's what Marcus Green has to do. He knows he has the skills. He just has to put in the work.
He was a scary sight last year for opposing teams. He'll be scary again. Nice job, Maurice Allen, once again doing it on the defensive end. Hasn't been able to chip in offensively yet, but on the defensive end, that's the second turnover he's forced here in the first quarter. Green working the ball up against pressure. That time called in favor of Norristown. Jarrett Medley, a little too much body, trying to contain Green. Marcus Green leading great Norristown boys basketball teams. He'll be back again next year. He'll be the only one on the floor for Norristown right now that will be returning. Fowler trying to call for the ball inside. He likes his matchup right there against Markov. Wiggins did not push it in. He gets it inside there. Fowler up top. Nice soft touch. A little bit too much though. Gets the rebound. Tries to pass through traffic to find Brad Weldon, but too many Panthers in the way. Bruce Hall with the carry call. Another turnover for Cheltenham. They're shooting themselves in the foot.
That's right, and they could really be taking advantage of these mistakes that Norristown is making. They're not using the backboard, and they're not getting the rebounds. But then, like you said, they're shooting themselves in the foot. The Panthers are being held to nothing on the offensive end.
You do not want to give this Norristown team too many opportunities. Nice job, Fowler, taking it in strong off the dish from Green. He gets attacked by two Panthers. Looks like Markov might get the foul called against him. Actually, it's called against Sam Granum.
That's his first foul. And there are a lot of bodies in there to stop up the lane. Fowler's going to have his work cut out for him tonight.
Fowler short on the first foul shot. Patient foul shooter. Up and in, 13-7 in favor of Cheltenham. 1:49 left to go, first quarter action. Norristown is in a full court press right now. Jarrett Medley, the point guard for the Panthers, working the ball up ably. Working inside, almost a dunk by Markov.
Made it look easy.
They certainly did. They did a nice job of dissecting the press, resulting in 2 points for Markov. 15-7, 1:27 left to go, first quarter. Maurice Allen working up top, kicked it outside to Weldon. He's short with the air ball. Fowler with the rebound, up and in. Fowler having a pretty nice game so far. It's 15-9.
Nice pass slash shot by Weldon, and Fowler was waiting for the ball, and Weldon had the peace of mind to lay it right back up.
Great defense, Marcus Green. Maurice Allen trying to track it down in the backcourt. Can't come up with it. Jarrett Medley, the point guard, does. Looked like a fast break opportunity going awry for Norristown. They're going to call the foul against 31, Eric Wiggins.
There were about 3 or 4 gentlemen who tried to pick the pocket there. Mr. Hall. Finally, Eric Wiggins thought he got a clean snap there, and there was nothing to be as the referees called the foul. And the referees for tonight are Michael Berry and Michael Troisi.
Couple of mics.
And they have their hands full tonight.
Mike squared. Markov not much of a threat on the perimeter. Working it inside, nice job picking pockets as Marcus Green over to Eric Wiggins, makes good on the fast break, 15-11. 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
And just like that, Norristown is back in the ball game as they usually can. They usually can come back and come right back into it as they're only down by 4 now. Looks like the Panthers will hold for a last shot.
20 seconds left to go. Ball held by Jarrett Medley. He and Bruce Hall doing the majority of the ball handling duties. Medley is a senior. He's mentoring Bruce Hall, number 23, who's a sophomore. And they're not afraid to put it in the hands of Sam Granum with 7 seconds left. He's working the ball, tries to go behind the back, picked this pocket by Eric Wiggins, one-handed up and under with less than a second to go. Finishes the quarter 15-13, down 2 points. Great job, Eric Wiggins made a huge impact when he came in.
That's right, and that's what well, I was going to say that's what he's paid to do, but that's what he's here for, and he brings down this house as Norristown crawls right back up on the Panthers, 13-15. And as you said, Eric Wiggins with a power off the bench. He has 7 of the Norristown's 13 points. Weldon added 3 and Fowler had 2. Right now Sam Granham is leading the Panthers with 8 points, and he seems to be, like I said at the beginning of the game, a force to be reckoned with. They gave it to him right at the end of the first quarter there, and you could tell he had it in him to go right to the hoop. Unfortunately, he bounced it off his own leg, and Wiggins made it the other way.
Coach Evislage obviously with plenty of confidence in Granham to handle the ball up at the top, which is kind of unusual for a 6'5" forward. He is a senior, so he's had plenty of seasoning under his belt. Coach Evislage, that's his go-to play right there, trying to work against the Norristown team 1-on-5. But luckily for Norristown, Eric Wiggins is there, picks the pocket, takes it the length of the court, and one-hands it into the bucket to pull Norristown within 2 points.
And they can draw even here because they get the ball out to start the second quarter.
Second quarter action here at Norristown Area High School. Norristown Flying Eagles down 2 points, 15-13. Nice job, Weldon, taking baseline. Excellent job staying in the air, squeezes the shot off. It's not going to fall for him. Cheltenham wastes no time getting the ball back down court. Nice job, three-point shot taken by Alex West, the senior guard. 18-13 in favor of Cheltenham. Weldon trying to work inside the post, moves it across the key to Fowler, who's liked his matchup all night. Comes up a little short. Looks like Markov is affecting some shots in there, but Brad Weldon will get fouled as he tries to work the ball and carries his lunch pail into the paint. He'll go to the line.
Norristown boys, much like the Norristown girls, have to be patient. They have to pass the ball around, look for a good shot, and they looked for it there, and they found it. And with Brad Weldon, and Weldon was strong to the basket, looking for the foul, and I'm sure he's going to do that all night.
Weldon hits the shot. 18-14, 7:20 left to go. Second quarter. So far, Zdravko Markov has not been that much of a presence for Cheltenham.
I would agree with you, John, except that he hasn't been a scoring presence, but he's been a presence inside. He's been pressuring Lee Fowler to take off balance and too soft of a shot, and that's just what Cheltenham needs. They need someone to shut down the big men inside.
It's interesting, though. Fowler keeps calling for the ball. He likes that matchup. Foot on the line right here, right in front of us. Sam Granham. Another turnover for Cheltenham. Cheltenham certainly doesn't like to make things easy on themselves.
As you were saying, Fowler calls for that shot, but then he has to put it in the basket because he's going up against a 6'7" Markov. Marcus Turner checks into the game for the Panthers. He's a junior guard standing 5'8".
Green trying to go baseline, kicks it out to Maurice Allen from three-point distance, a little bit long off the iron. Kicked back by Weldon, cross-court pass. Wiggins for the bomb, no good, again long off the iron. Cheltenham gets the ball, here's Sam Granham. Nice smooth touch, double digits for the big man from Cheltenham.
Granham seems to have a real presence on the court, and it's just he just sliced through that defense like a hot knife through butter, and he just seemed like it was like so easy for him to take off from the foul line and make it.
Well, Maurice Allen's eyes got big. He started to salivate as he saw the big man Markov standing between him and the basket. Thought he could razzle-dazzle him, break his ankles, but loses the handle on the rock and turns the ball over. 20-15, 6.5 minutes left. Speaking of turnovers, Coach Evislage jumping out of his seat over there.
He must have been a high jumper in high school or college because he got up a good 6 to 8 inches off the seat.
That's pretty good in those hush puppies still.
That's true. And
I'm gonna get myself a pair of them Air hush puppies.
We know we have the seatbelt rule here in PIAA, but he was well off the bench.
Once again, Cheltenham, the Panthers not content to take control of the game. Marcus Green up and under, dipsy-do, a little bit long. Marcus not having too much success from the field tonight. Medley's shot goes long for Cheltenham. Sam Granham gets the ball. Outside shot. That was Alex West for Cheltenham. Quickly brought down court by the Eagles. And Marcus Green brings the noise right inside to Sam Granham. Draws the foul very wisely. Good job by Green on the recognition of who was under there, and I'll tell you what, if they can get Grantham in some foul trouble, that would really pave the way for an easier
yeah, Marcus Green knew exactly what he had to do there. Most guys would just go up and go for the layup. Probably Grantham would snuff the ball right into his face, but he said, I got to put my body between the ball and Grantham, and that's exactly what he did, and Grantham went for the foul.
It was a matchup of 6'5" versus 5'9", and Green is able to convert it into points. He makes the first of his foul shots, and we have Grantham checking out, and in his spot comes Lovick Bellinger, a 6'1" junior forward, number 24. Green pulls Norristown within 3 points, 20-17, 6:04 left to go in the second quarter. We see James Edmonds checking back in. Lee Fowler will come out. Norristown has kept in this full court press all game long. Maurice Allen working against Jarrett Medley. Going to get called with the foul.
Norristown sticking them like glue and probably a little too close for the referees.
The Panthers going to their stack play. Medley breaks out. Maurice Allen drawing the responsibility of covering the point guard on defense.
Yeah.
Working inside, trying to go baseline is Turner, who kicks it in the middle. Nice job regaining control of the ball is Alex West.
He has sorry, John. He has 5 points on the night, and he's adding to that Panther lead. Now it's up to 5.
That's a great looking move inside by Maurice Allen. He wants some help from the ref. On the flip side, Turner turns the ball over. Marcus Turner, 5'8" junior, number 10, throws the ball away for Cheltenham.
Entering the game for the Eagles is Danny Evans, number 11. He's a junior, a very competent junior on the floor, and taking place of Maurice Allen. Allen is one of the 1-2 punch here for the Eagles, but Danny Evans is a worthy substitute for him. He's got a lot of skills and a lot of shooting ability in his own. He keeps his head in the game. He's a smooth operator.
5'11" junior. Up top, Wiggins from three-point distance, a little bit short off the iron. Weldon with a beautiful job, excellent court awareness, kicks it back up to him. Wiggins can't make good on the follow-up attempt. Second chance points are not coming easy, but they're getting a lot of buckets on the defensive end. Green inside. No luck there, turns the ball over. Medley spinning, trying to get through Evans. Saved by Medley, but Weldon kicks it up to Wiggins. He goes long off the iron. Bucket is made by Brad Weldon. It certainly wasn't easy to get to 22-19, Neil.
That's right. 7 points now for Brad Weldon. A good presence for Weldon to kick it out twice to Wiggins. Wiggins having a couple bad shots there, but persistence pays off for the Eagles.
Medley breaks free, but it was too easy. Couldn't make the shot. The ball is kicked outside to West. Wiggins pulls it down, gets it into the hands of the point guard Turner, who takes it up and under Jarrett Medley. Too fast to contain. Marcus Green converts it, and Coach Evislage wants the timeout to stop the bleeding. 22-21, they're still on top, but momentum has swung in the Eagles' favor. 4:18 left to go in the half.
That's right, and the surgeon is coming back out. That's Sam Grantham, number 21. He's going to try to sew up the wound here, cut down by the Eagles. Eagles moving right back into this game, typical Norristown style. Remember, you're in their house, and we know that Norristown doesn't lose easily in their house. They don't lose at all, but they lose even tougher here in their house. Both losses this year have come on the road, one to Harrisburg, the defending state champion, and the other to Eastside High, made famous in Lean On Me, the Lean On Me movie. It was in the a tournament over in New Jersey, and Coach McGee knew that he had his hands full with Eastside High, but he saw it as a challenge that his team could go over there and upset a top-ranked New Jersey team. Eastside High ranked in the top 25 in the country by USA Today, and heck, Norristown might as well be there too, because they're playing like a top 25 team.
Well, it's an excellent way to battle test your ball club, and when playoff seedings come up, really that's it's not going to count against you. Coach Evislage is not happy about something on the sideline.
Well, Coach Evislage has to remember you're in Norristown school, and when you check in the game, you have to sit right on the X or be right in front of the scorer's table to check into the game. And Evislage, I guess he thinks that he knows what he's doing here at Cheltenham or at Norristown, but he doesn't. official over there, Ted Every, the man in black and white stripes, sitting at the table, along with the timer, Otis Ginyard. They run a tight ship over there, as they should. Everyone has rules, and you got to follow them. Norristown follows them. Cheltenham has to follow them. Evislage taking off the jacket, a.k.a. Bobby Knight.
He's getting quite a workout over there on the sideline. An active coach, young active coach on the sideline. Looks like Norristown has tightened the screws on the press just a little bit. That's Green and Danny Evans working against the guards from Cheltenham. Trying to spin out. Evans does a good job forcing the turnover. Green has Weldon, kicks it over through the lane. Weldon up and in. That's the first Norristown lead of the night. Cheltenham came out to an 8-0 lead, and since then, Norristown has battled back in this game, 23-22 right now. Green doing a great job on Jarrett Medley, almost forcing another turnover.
Weldon with 9 points, putting the screws on the Panthers right now.
Shot is up and good for Cheltenham, 24-23. Back down to Wiggins. That shot's good. Fireworks on both sides of the court, 26-24. Norristown builds its lead to 2 points right now. 2:22 left to go to the half.
Wiggins breaks into the double digits now with 10.
Good job on the defensive end for Norristown. Wiggins comes down court. He's working against one man. Decides not to shoot, much to the dismay of his teammates. And the ball flies out of bounds. It will be Cheltenham ball. Sam Granum checks into the game.
Markov getting his first break of the night. The Bulgarian player seems to be a little tired, but they put in a worthy substitute in Sam Granum. He's Mr. Excitement for the Panthers.
Cheltenham trying to work for a good quality shot right now. They definitely need to put some points on the board in this situation. Norristown needs to clamp it down. There, you definitely have the momentum swinging in their favor. Great rebound. Good job by James Edmonds.
James Edmonds showed his prowess on the football field for the first time this year, and now he's showing it here on the basketball court as he pulls down a rebound. Unfortunately, Eric Wiggins palmed the ball. If anybody said that this game was not important, just check the eyes of every one of these players. It's intense. You can cut the tension in this gym with a knife. My hands are even sweating.
Big time game. Maurice Allen checks in as Eric Wiggins is going to go cool off on the bench. Lots of turnovers tonight in this game. Lots of tension in the air. Two Norristown regular starters right now sitting on the bench. Good job by Cheltenham getting to the basket. Steal. It was stolen by Medley. Points by Hall. 28-26 in favor of the guests, Cheltenham Panthers. 2 minutes left to go here to the half. Both teams keeping the press, have been in the press all game long. Weldon up and under trying to get to the basket. Shot altered by Granum. Outside to Maurice Allen. Rims out. Rebound, Alex West for Cheltenham. They push the ball down in a hurry. That's Bellinger. Hang time. Looks like Danny Evans might get caught with the foul.
I thought Danny Evans could have just planted his feet right there and had the offensive foul called on Bellinger, but Evans chose to go for the block. It's sort of an experience thing, but Danny Evans has been here before. He's been in the game. He knows what he's doing. As I say, he's a smooth operator out there. He keeps his head in the game and keeps his cool. I thought he should have planted right there and gone for the offensive, but it's paying off right now as Bellinger misses the first one. And Markov and Granum switch positions there. We'll also have number 11, Darian Prialou, coming into the game.
Interesting substitution on the part of Coach Evislage. Well, Bellinger does a much better job the second time around. I was afraid the ball was going to pop on that first foul shot.
It was a little intense going to the basket there. Norristown down by 3 now with just under 2 minutes to play in the first half. And you're definitely getting your money's worth at this game.
Maurice Allen bringing the ball past the timeline into the hands of Brad Weldon. Working against Darian Prialou, who does a nice job picking his pocket. Back down the other end of the floor is Bruce Hall, the sophomore, making some points. 31-26, minute and a half left to go. Coach McGee wants to make sure that for the last remaining minutes here, his Norristown Eagles are going to be able to come out and do some productive things.
That's right. Coach McGee needs to calm it down a little bit. They just went on a 5-point run, and Cheltenham has the upper hand right now. Scoring for Cheltenham is pretty even. It's spaced out. Bruce Hall with 6, Alex West with 7, and Granham with 10. Medley adds 5. For Norristown, it's a Wiggins and Weldon affair. Weldon in double digits, as is Wiggins. And I'm sure we'll see that all night as the fans are now beginning to give a little battle in the stands. As we see a battle on the court, now we're having a battle in the stands. And you've got to like to see that, John. This is a high-powered game, 2 high-powered teams in a high-powered league. And we're coming down to the end of the season here as we look at the schedule. We're getting down there where we're getting near suburban playoffs and district playoffs and state playoffs. And there's about 4 or 5 games left for Norristown. This is when you've got to step it up. You've got to act like the champions that you are and see if you can come out on top.
Spirited performance on the floor and also in the stands tonight. Cheltenham turns up the heat on its press. Marcus Green dribbling through it, kicks the ball to Danny Evans, who loses it. Markov knocks it over to West, but it's intercepted by Maurice Allen. Comes inside, takes matters into his own hands. Before the shot, the foul is called against, I believe it's number 20. No, it's called against number 11, Darian Prelu, the 6-foot senior who recently checked into the game. The ball will be taken out of bounds by Norristown's Eric Wiggins.
Just when you think Norristown has it and then Danny Evans loses the handle on it, goes back to Cheltenham. Nope, it's going back to the Eagles and Maurice Allen.
Wiggins does a nice job getting to the basket but can't convert. Foul's going to be called against Alex West from Cheltenham.
I thought there could have been a foul before that, but the officials see it in another way and they have a better viewpoint. Maurice Allen, although he only stands 6 foot, he plays like he's 7 foot because he gets in there where a small point guard should not be.
He is a top defender. Danny Evans goes for the 3. Cheltenham quickly down the other end, fast breaking. Ball will not roll in for Bruce Hall. Rebound by Lee Fowler. Danny Evans will bring the ball up court. On the wing to Maurice Allen. Danny Evans sent up the offense, does a nice job through the legs, past Medley. Fowler gets the ball, hard off the glass, will not go in. 40 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. And Cheltenham has better get it across half court if they want to maintain possession.
Tough defense there by Allen. Now Green and Evans both harassing too.
Excellent defensive job on the part of both teams. Foul is called against Eric Wiggins for Norristown.
Unfortunate foul there for Eric Wiggins. That'll be his 2nd foul. And we know the Tom McGee rule that if you have 2 fouls, you're coming out of the game. As Brad Weldon checks in for Eric Wiggins. There's a tripping foul there, and Darian Prelu will go to the line for the Panthers.
31-26 in favor of the Panthers right now. They jumped out to a quick 8-0 lead. It was 15-13. Cheltenham on top at the end of the first quarter, and they built their lead to 5 after Norristown had regained the lead momentarily. Prelu makes the first of his foul shots. Another substitution. Marcus Turner checking in for Jarrett Medley. Coach Eveslage trying to save some fouls. Prelu makes both, extends the lead to 7 for Cheltenham. Norristown needs to get some points on the board. Looks like they will settle for the last shot. Marcus Green will set up the offense. They hit the 10-second mark.
It's usually 10 seconds. It's gone down to 5 now for Marcus Green. He's going to try to slice through. Goes to Fowler. Oh!
Well, I'll tell you what, it could very well have been a 3-point play, but Lee Fowler has had a very difficult time trying to put the ball in the cylinder tonight. Excellent job by Marcus Green, getting the ball in a money spot. Fowler goes up, does at least draw the foul with 0.2 seconds left to go on the clock.
Lee Fowler's a hot and cold player. Some nights everything goes in for him and he tallies up 19, 20 points. And some nights the lid seems to be on the basket and he can't score in the double digits. Fowler is having one of those nights where he only has 2 points. He's had a lot of looks inside, but he just can't seem to convert.
Maybe Zdravko Markov has put some sort of a Bulgarian spell on him. Fowler goes way long on the first foul shot.
And this is not atypical. Fowler at the free throw line. He's a little rusty here. He's about 50%.
Well, there's your 50%, makes the second. And Cheltenham really can't get a shot off, but good job by Marcus Green making sure that that doesn't happen. A couple words exchanged between Darian Prelou and Marcus Green as we head for the locker room for the halftime. We will rejoin you for third quarter action and a recap of what has transpired here in the first half of play at Norristown Area High School. Right now the score stands 33 points for Cheltenham, 27 for Norristown. Thanks for joining us.
The second half of the Cheltenham Panthers versus the Norristown Eagles, and halftime score is Cheltenham 33, Norristown 27. Scoring wrap: Sam Granham leads the Panthers with 10 points. Alex West has 7, Bruce Hall 6, Markoff has 2, Medley 5, and Prelou has 2. For Norristown, Weldon with 9 points and Wiggins with 10, and we're back to second half action. John.
Other interesting stats that I got over from the stat table: the fouls called against Marcus Green. He knowingly was the offender. 5 assists for Jarrett Medley on the part of Cheltenham. 5 boards for Granham. And Alex West, quietly having an all-around solid game, has 2 assists. Also 6 rebounds out of the 6'2 senior. So he's having a very productive evening. And that is why that the Cheltenham Panthers are on top, 33-27, just underway here in the third quarter. Once again, Norristown maintaining the man-to-man pressure defense.
Every single person on the floor seems to be an integral cog in the Cheltenham wheel or the Norristown wheel. Every single man is important. No man can let down their guard.
Well, let down their guard there was Norristown, in fact, because that was a beautiful looking pass from Bruce Hall to Alex West inside. Builds a lead to 8 points for Cheltenham. Way to come back, Brad Weldon inside.
Talking to some people at halftime, they say that Fowler's doing a good job against Markoff and Granham, but that he needs to sink his shots, and we made that evident in the first half, that he needs to put those easy layups into the basket.
Nice job ducking up and under Medley. Fowler tries to get the rebound, stripped but knocked out of bounds by Medley. Very active senior point guard for Cheltenham. Good job recognizing the press by Eric Wiggins. Comes back to help the guards bring the ball up. Marcus Green pulling the trigger for the jump shot. No good. Kept alive by Norristown. Great job with hang time there, Eric Wiggins. Stays up in the air, squeezes the shot off against Alex West.
Alex West is second, team first.
That's Alex West's second foul. Eric Wiggins at the line. Interesting shot, rolling around a couple times, then banking off the glass.
Wiggins with 11 points tonight, 1/3 of the Eagles scoring.
Kept alive by Weldon. Once again, he does a nice job kicking it back out on top to the guards. Wiggins shaking and baking crossover move.
Yeah, Weldon may not be able to get both hands on the ball, but he has the ability to get up there and tip it out to somebody waiting outside. Eric Wiggins, Maurice Allen, or Rick Screen.
Refs are calling a tight game. They get Wiggins with the carry. That's the second time they haven't been too appreciative of his ball handling skills.
And they've called it on both ends. They're not just one-sided, as both Mike Berry and Mike Troisi are calling it both ends. They're calling that carry, and that's good. It's keeping both teams honest.
That Jarrett Medley Maurice Allen matchup is interesting to watch. A couple of stellar ball players.
And Allen's going to win it this time. Medley's going to lose as he gets a foul called on him, a little pushing foul.
35-30, third quarter action here at Norristown Area High School. Thanks for joining us. 6 minutes, 10 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Cheltenham has basically had the lead for most of the ball game, but Marcus Green pushing the ball inside. Weldon, maybe that gets Fowler back on track as he does a good job powering the ball up. 35-32. 3-point deficit right now that Norristown needs to work off. Maurice Allen helped out by Marcus Green, who is going to get called with the foul. unfortunate circumstance.
Green is third team, third.
Marcus Green using some hand signals to communicate with Coach Tom McGee. Danny Evans looks like he's coming in the game.
Marcus wants to stay in the game. He was trying to help out Maurice Allen, who got beat. Rebound, Green downtown to his buddy Allen, off the glass. Good job, pulls the Eagles within one.
Surprisingly, that's Allen's first 2 points of the night, although he's been a force to be reckoned with on the court on the defensive end.
Spirited crowd on hand here in the gymnasium tonight. Good job by Marcus Green. A rebound on the last possession, steal on this possession, and he also got the assist last time down. But I think McGee's still going to take him out of the game. Fowler all of a sudden gets assertive on the offensive end and draws the foul against Markov.
Well, Fowler knows that he has to step up against someone like Markov. Markov and Fowler are both listed as 6'7". However, Markov adds a little more weight to that 6'7" than does Fowler. Fowler sometimes loses the handle on the ball underneath and is light-footed, but tonight he has to stand tall and stand heavy and match up against Markov.
Makes his first shot. Marcus Green to the bench. Danny Evans comes in. Green has an explosion in the last minute before he headed to the bench. Does a nice all-around job on offense and defense. Another substitution on the floor. Markov heads off the floor.
Darian Prialou for the Panthers, number 11.
Well, if Fowler's 50%, he'll miss this one for you. And he does. We've got a foul underneath called against Norristown, I believe. 41, Brad Weldon. 35-35, 5 minutes, 13 seconds left in the third quarter. Norristown briefly had the lead in the second.
As we started this game, we said that this game was just as important as that Hatboro-Horsham coming up this Friday. We will broadcast that game as well, but this is just as important. Coach Tom McGee said he would like a cushion going into that Hatboro game, and that cushion is coming tough right now as the score is tied with just under 5 minutes to go.
Medley draws the foul on the floor. Looks like Maurice Allen.
Foul Allen is second, team fourth.
It is Maurice's second foul tonight.
Now 3 guys on the floor have 2 fouls each for the Eagles. That's Weldon, Wiggins, and Allen all have 2 fouls, so they have to be careful.
Prialou knocks down a 2-point bucket for Cheltenham to put them back on top.
He's got 4 points off the bench and doing a good job for the Panthers.
Prialou's a senior. Cross-court pass, good job. Weldon over to Danny Evans, can't convert. Ball kept alive. Good job tracking it down on the part of Brad Weldon, who's doing a very active job downtown. And the foul, however, is going to be called against Brad Weldon. Banging around with Prialou. They're going to get him with the clear out, and he will be heading to the bench, and we'll see some more of James Edmonds, the junior.
You notice every time that there's a foul called on Norristown, they all look to the bench because they know that Coach McGee is going to have someone coming in for him, and they're all looking over there like, please, please, leave me in the game. I'm doing a good job. I'm getting called on a touch foul here and there, but Coach McGee has his rules, and he's got to adhere to them.
Rules is rules, Neil.
That's right.
Nice job, jump stop, shot taken by Medley, the point guard. Eric Wiggins brings the ball into the paint, looks for a crease, squeezes one off. It's no good, but kept alive by Edmonds. Settled into the hands of Allen, and Wiggins from the corner goes long on the 3-point attempt. Fowler collects the rebound, splits the defenders, but loses the rock, and it's picked up by Prialou for Cheltenham. Well, I'll tell you what, these Norristown substitutions, though, are going to get some very valuable seasoning right now that will come in handy, perhaps, at playoff time.
Foul's going to be called on Jim Edmonds, although I thought it could have been over the back by number 33, Alex West. It will be called on Jim Edmonds. We have a couple substitutions. A new one for Norristown is number 44, Damian Solomon. He is a very exciting player to watch. He adds a spark to the Norristown squad. He's a threat on the football field as well as on the basketball court.
Shot is long off the iron. Solomon trying to save it. Granham goes long off the glass on the jump ball. Green finds Allen down court. Allen elevates to the basket, kisses it off the glass. He's got Norristown back to within 2 with 3:23 left to go in the third.
Fast-paced game here, back and forth for the Panthers and the Eagles. You can't blink or you're going to miss something.
especially with these two going at it right now, Maurice Allen and Jarrett Medley. And he's got the call against Maurice Allen.
Now Norristown is in the bonus. They're going to shoot. The Panthers are going to shoot one-on-one on every one of those touch fouls.
Coach McGee involuntarily getting some seasoning out of his bench players tonight.
That's right, and he does have a deep bench. He does have Darrell Johnson sitting down there a little further, and Mr. Excitement, the spark plug, Milan Dean, who always seems to add a little bit of sort of like Tabasco sauce to his team. It sort of peppers them up, gets them a little hot, and gets them going. As Damian Solomon just checks into the game, and he's already had his hand on the ball twice. Damian
Solomon, the 6'2 senior. Green trying to penetrate, gets hand checked in the process.
Norristown fans finally applauding there. They finally think they've got their just due from the official, who's been calling it a little lopsided in the second half on the one end, but now he's getting back into the swing of things.
The call is against Darian Prelu of Cheltenham. Inside to Solomon. He loses the handle. It's picked up by Medley. Pushes the ball inside to Bruce Hall. Cross-court pass. Prelu tries to knock it to Granham. Cheltenham having a hard time handling it. It's Alex West quietly having a nice night. He comes off the heel of the rim. Prelu with the rebound. We're going to get a clear-out call against Eric Wiggins.
And this could be tough. This could be a tough night for Norristown in the last 10 minutes of regulation play here, as they're being called on a lot of fouls. Eric Wiggins has 3. Maurice Allen has 3. And it's 1-1 for the rest of the night, and possibly 2 shots when we get to the 10th foul.
39-37 in favor of Cheltenham. 2.5 minutes left to go. Solomon with another big rebound, kicks it out to Allen. As deep of a team as this is, you'd like to have Wiggins on the floor for the remainder of this game, and Maurice Allen slices through defenders and ties the game up at 39 apiece.
And as he was sliced, 3 or 4 hands came in and tried to pick the ball from him. They're touch fouls, but they're being called tonight. They weren't called there. Luckily, he was able to slice through the defense and get it.
Allen, an explosively quick player. They kick the ball out to Hall, who goes long. Once again, Solomon with another rebound. He's got 3 in his brief time on the floor. Maurice Allen, once again, squeezes the shot off. Beautiful job. Nice looking jump shot. 41-39 off the fast break.
You know, right before the half, Maurice Allen didn't have any points. Right now he has 8 points. He's really lit it up here for the Eagles.
They've needed every one of those points as they maintain a very small 2-point lead with 1:38 left to go in the third quarter. The Cheltenham coach will be content to slow the pace down.
I'll tell you why I like Damian Solomon. He's a football player. He's not afraid to bounce some bodies off of him, and he's not afraid to get down the court and grab those loose balls. It always helps to have a couple football players on the floor, because you know that they're going to get physical in a game like this. And in a game like this, you need to get physical. It's out of bounds against the Panthers. It hits the wire, overhead wire.
Prelu's pass gets physical with the overhead wires. 1:12 left. Third quarter. Wiggins helping Green out. Brings the ball across midcourt. He's guarded by West.
You might as well nickname the third quarter the blue and white quarter, because this seems to be Norristown's quarter. They seem to get right back in the game in this third quarter every single time we are in this house.
Green and Solomon are unable to contain Bruce Hall. 41-41, under a minute left to go here in the third quarter. Wiggins seems to really be doing a nice aggressive job getting to the basket. Unfortunately, like some of the other Eagles, they have not been able to convert and finish those shots off. It's 41-41 for all the shots and the offensive and defensive excitement. It's a real low-scoring game. Well, Eric Wiggins should have known better. He was standing just a hair over the mid-court line, and he did a backhand handoff to Marcus Green.
I think Marcus Green, in his airness, he floated right over the entire circle and entire half-court line. I don't know that he ever touched the ground, but he was called for backcourt as the ball went over.
Well, Norristown turns the ball over, but then get it right back. Solomon sees the referee open, but thank God for Eric Wiggins' speed. He catches up to the ball. Foul is drawn by Norristown. It's against Prelu.
I think you can see it here, John. Look at the back of Damian Solomon's calves. He has got such strong calves, and that's why he is able to get up and down the court so quickly. And Marcus Green, the same thing. He's very strong in the legs. He's able to jump here, jump there, and do the job on the court. All these Norristown players are really fit, and that's one reason that they're so successful, is they don't tire out and they seem to get up and down the court with a lot of ease.
Norristown with another inbounds. Solomon took the shot on the last one, does a nice job with a spin dribble. Nice athletic touch on the ball. Good job. He put the Norristown Eagles up by 2 points, 43-41, with 13 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Cheltenham will hold it for the last shot. Jarrett Medley, working against Maurice Allen, tries to squeeze it off, and he does draw a foul. So with 4.7 seconds left to go, Cheltenham makes it a productive possession, and they'll get the foul.
This is one of the loudest games we've had this year. I don't think I've ever it's never been this loud on a Tuesday game. Usually on the Friday games it's this intense. We're wearing headphones so that we can hear each other talk, and I know with the volume up pretty loud, it's still tough to hear you, John. So these Norristown fans and the Cheltenham fans, give it to them, because they came out on a Tuesday night. Most of them are students, and they're cheering on their Panthers or the Eagles.
And they've not been disappointed with the play on the floor tonight. Medley hits the first of his foul shots.
He has 8 points tonight, as the scoring is pretty even for the Panthers. There are about 4 or 5 guys close to that double-digit mark. As it is with Norristown, we have Weldon, Wiggins, and Allen all close to 10 points.
Another shot made good. Jarrett Medley. Norristown with one last attempt. 2 seconds left. Wiggins catch and shoot in one motion. And at the other end, James Edmonds with the same thing.
Score it. It's good. One official scores it. And Eveslage is at half court. I cannot believe that the officials allowed him to come out this far. There are 2 officials on the court. We don't need a third one.
45-43 at the end of the third quarter.
I know these coaches are very enthusiastic and very energetic, but you have to realize that the men in black and white are hired for a reason. They're hired to officiate the game. They're not here to cheer. They're not here to give you comments or commentary, and they're not here to run your offense or your defense. So don't you dare come out to half court and tell them what to do. Usually, I'm down on the officials. Tonight, I'm up for the officials because they're doing a heck of a job with 2 tough teams, 2 tough coaches, and a lot of tough fans.
It's been a great evening all night long. These players are really giving it their all. The fans are into the game. It's really been a lot of fun to watch. The coaches are caught up in it, and so are the announcers. Looks like Marcus Green is doing a little refereeing of his own, trying to get in the hip pocket of one of the referees.
Hey, that's experience there. Marcus Green knows that he has to have a good rapport with the officials, because down the stretch here in the last 8 minutes, there's going to be a lot of calls going one way or the other. The intensity is turned up, and he needs to be a presence on the court as a leader, and to settle his team down, and to be sort of an envoy to the officials.
It's going to be a lot of tight play, but how about James Edmonds' performance in the latter half of the third quarter along with Solomon? They both did outstanding jobs. Solomon with some excellent timing to put Norristown up at the conclusion of the third quarter.
I didn't see the foul there. I didn't see a clear-out foul by Edmonds. It looked like number 20, Jarrett Medley, just sort of snuck around, tripped over his own 2 feet, and looked like a push-out.
That's Edmonds' third foul. Also, as you mentioned, Damian Solomon, outstanding athlete with the huge calves. I'm having a hard time figuring out how that elastic's working. He must go through a pair of socks a quarter.
I know, those champion socks are holding up pretty good. I'm just amazed at how these athletes are just so fit. And I shouldn't be amazed, because here it is. I'm telling you right now, John, you haven't seen many Norristown games, but it is exciting when number 33 walks on the court, and you saw the crowd go up. Milan Dean is Mr. Excitement. He is a spark plug for this team. All these athletes in Norristown are very fit. I shouldn't say that I'm surprised by that, because Marcus Green ran cross country for me a couple years ago. Any basketball player who runs cross country, you got to give a lot of credit to.
Well, great job substitution by Coach McGee. He knows that it's time for this team to have a spark added to it, and Dean tries to add that there. He comes up short. The ball is booted right out of bounds by Jarrett Medley.
I'm not saying that Dean's going to make every single one of his shots, but he just sort of elevates the intensity on the court for Norristown. Just sort of clicks it up one more notch.
And the fans really seem to respond to that. Granham's shot goes long, but Markov is able to put it back. Sam Granham was silent for all of the third quarter. Norristown defense doing a great job shutting him down. Right now it's 46-45 in favor of Cheltenham. We are just underway here in the final quarter of this great matchup.
Well, Markov had been silent for about 16 minutes of play without scoring a basket, although he's been a presence clogging up the middle.
Dean does a nice job with the entry pass into Fowler, who kicks it back out. They're doing a nice inside-outside game. Milan Dean is fouled. Was he behind the three-point arc?
Yes, he was.
He will shoot 3 from the foul line. The fans in the stands are responding to Milan Dean, as you indicated that they would. And he has been able to infuse this team with a little extra life that they needed to keep the train running here in the fourth quarter.
All right, you were saying earlier that there are a lot of seniors on the Norristown squad, but right now on the court, you have 3 players that are going to return for next year. Jim Edmonds having a good game, Milan Dean, Mr. Excitement, and Marcus Green. That's the nucleus of a squad that Coach McGee is really going to be able to build on. You have someone like Danny Evans coming back. You have some other players on JV like Audley Stewart and James Stewart, who are going to be coming back for another year next year.
And they're getting some great quality minutes right now in crunch time. These are not garbage minutes. These players are learning on the fly here, and they're being battle tested. Nice job forcing the turnover. A couple of those underclassmen right there, Milan Dean and Marcus Green teaming up to get the ball back for Norristown. It's all knotted up, 46 apiece. 6:56 left to go, fourth quarter. Wiggins bringing the ball up by himself. He's working against West. Milan Dean against Granham. Pulls off the jumper. He goes long. Wiggins tries to get the ball away from Bruce Hall, but he's unable to do so. Nice job on the fast break conversion by Cheltenham. 48-46 in favor of Cheltenham.
Hall breaks into double-digit scoring there with 10 points. He's been quiet 10 points as we've been focusing on Granham and Alex West, but he's doing his job out there.
Green squeezes a shot up. It's no good. Rebound is pulled down by West. Moves it up to Bruce Hall. Cheltenham holds a 2-point advantage with 6 minutes left to go in the fourth. Kind of a carry there. He smiled for a second, kind of thinking the call was going to come against him. Instead, he spins through the lane, takes the shot. It's no good, but Markov comes to life in the fourth quarter with another putback. Good job by Markov, the 6'7" junior.
Timeout called by Norristown Tom McGee. Then he needs to slow it down a little bit. We have a couple substitutions coming in for Norristown, and we're just under 6 minutes to go in the game.
Time for Norristown to regroup a little bit. Good job regrouping by Markov and Granham. Becoming a lot more active here in the fourth quarter. It seems like they took a nap during the third quarter.
Coming up for Norristown, of course, February 5th, the most anticipated game here in the, well, possibly in the Delaware Valley, definitely in the Suburban One. Hatboro Horsham coming to Norristown's gym. Norristown traveled to Hatboro earlier on in the season and came away with a big victory, an easy victory. They dominated the game. And following that Hatboro Horsham game on February 9th, it'll be Plymouth Whitemarsh. No easy task there either. That'll be over at PW on February 9th. February 12th, a game at Souderton. Souderton put an early scare into the Eagles earlier in the season, but the Eagles climbed back and won easily by 20 points. And then our final game here at home, and that is the senior night, February 16th versus Quakertown, where the seniors will be recognized. Yours truly will be doing announcing for that game, the public address announcer, as we honor the seniors. And there are many seniors to honor, and some worthy seniors to honor.
Should be a great night in the gym also. Ali Galami from Quakertown's having an outstanding season. Had a great one last year, and he'll bring some nice game into this gym as he battles the Eagles. Inside, the Eagles are battling. Brad Weldon with a bucket on the inside. That guy brings the hard hat, the lunch pail. He gets all his points in the paint. He's done a nice job keeping balls alive and grabbing some rebounds.
And he's a nice guy, too. He's like a big teddy bear. He's really big, really soft-spoken, really nice guy to talk to in the hallways. And he puts off this demeanor as like he's a real tough guy, but he's just a real teddy bear.
Well, right now that menacing demeanor is guarding Granham. Baseline shot by Cheltenham is no good. Wiggins tries to keep it alive. It will remain Cheltenham ball. They will inbound under their own basket. Substitution set to check in Damian Solomon for Norristown. Much to the crowd's delight, Lee Fowler checks out.
There are just some crowd favorites here. I think Melandine is one and Damian Solomon is another. They're both fine gentlemen and both great on the court.
Solomon should be a crowd favorite. He had 3 rebounds in a very short stint during the third quarter. Good job by the Norristown defense. Eric Wiggins working the ball inside. That time it worked. Hanging in the air. We've seen that many times tonight, but very rarely has he been able to convert it, and right there he does to knock the score back up at 50. 5 minutes left to go in the game.
Wig Diggity, as I call him, he has 13 points, and he has matched Weldon's 13 as well. Seems to get the job done for Norristown. W&W, Wiggins and Weldon.
Medley with the 3-point shot, comes off short, rebound by Wiggins, gives it up to Marcus Green. He's got Weldon and also Allen, gives it to Allen, who launches himself in the air trying to draw the foul.
Could have passed it off to Weldon, who was wide open, but he's elected to take the shot. Unfortunately, it didn't go in. He was looking for a foul.
Medley and Allen have been battling all night. There's Wiggins on West, and inside, Allen trying to play some D. Granum with the rebound for Cheltenham. Brad Weldon collects the rebound, and Marcus Green brings the ball up the court for the Flying Eagles. Flying Eagle, Marcus Green.
Only has 6 points, but very big 6 points, as now the Eagles pull ahead by 2, and Coach Eveslage wants a timeout.
4 minutes exactly left to go here, 52-50 in favor of the home team, Norristown Eagles. Great job right there, Marcus Green dictating the tempo. The point guard taking the game over. Good job. Recognizing the weakness in the defense.
I think Marcus Green has eyes in the back of his head. He just seems to know where everyone is on the court, where the ball is, and where he wants to go. He's coming down the court. He's looking left and right. A lot of guards will just look straight down or look at one person. He's looking all over the court. Wiggins, Weldon, Damian Solomon, and Melandine, and he just knows who his strong points are and who his weak points are. Not that there are many weak points out on the floor for Norristown, but he knows where he has to go with the ball, and he keeps all his options open. I think some guards have tunnel vision, and they seem to want to go to one person the entire game. Who has the hot hand? I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him. Marcus Green spreads it out, sort of like machine gun fire.
He's got outstanding tools, but many guards do have tools similar to his, although probably not as talented as he is, but he's got the smarts to back it up, and great court awareness and recognition of where his teammates are and what he should be doing with the ball. It takes great care of it.
I mean, if you come from the outside and you see that little guy on the court, you're probably like, he doesn't look like he has anything. Boy, he has a lot in that little package.
Outstanding quickness and great basketball smarts. They try to get it inside to Markov, who can't handle it. Maurice Allen up court, takes it. That time he does convert, builds onto this lead. Norristown holding a very wide margin of a lead for the first time in this game in a while, 54-50, and the crowd is on its feet, much to the
I'm turning up the volume, John. I can just barely hear you.
Well, the players were motioning for the fans to get up, and Marcus Green elevates, got some rim, and probably knocked the ball out. But he steals it again. Steals it right back, having his way with them. Brad Weldon patiently waiting to get his shot off. Fights for the rebound and puts it back in. 56-50, 3 minutes left to go. And the Norristown crowd and the Norristown momentum.
Look at Brad Weldon.
Carrying this team.
Brad Weldon does not even seem like he's excited. It's just, it's just another day for Brad Weldon.
Business as usual. He's strapped on the hard hat, packed the lunch pail. He's got his bologna and cheese out there, and he's just doing what he's supposed to be doing. Trying to guard Grannon, who ducks under him. He goes long on the shot. Cheltenham is having his problems. We've got 3 Eagles down court. Maurice Allen tries to find Solomon.
Look at, you got to check out Coach McGee once in a while and his coaching staff. They just cringe when Norristown makes these errors. They seem to shoot themselves in the foot. That's 2 times down now where they've lost scoring opportunities. But luckily they come back and intensify the defense.
Eveslage takes the timeout. It would be interesting to have a echo cardio cam on Coach McGee to watch that heart race in those situations. But right now it's 56-50, 2.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. The Norristown crowd being incited by the Norristown players, doing a great job. Marcus Green, the one-man wrecking crew, really taking the game into his own hands in the fourth quarter like good point guards should.
Yeah, I mean, he came down, tried to dunk the ball, and everybody was down on him. 2 seconds later, he's back stealing the ball from someone, brings it back down, and they score again. It's just a never let up offense here. I had the pleasure of working with Tom McGee side by side in the school for the first 4 months of this year, and I'll tell you, getting a lot of insight into what goes on in the 300 victory mind of Coach McGee. He's very, very intense coach, and he lays a lot on the line when the Eagles suit up.
Well, the Norristown School District's definitely getting its money's worth out of this coach. Definitely puts a lot of hard work, time, and energy into this team, and the success shows on the court year after year. Norristown trying to hang on here. Markov spins in the middle, showing a little offensive presence, but he's a little bit short. Wiggins with the rebound and sets it up to Marcus Green, and you can be sure that Norristown shouldn't be in any hurry to put the ball back in the air.
That's right. They're a patient team. They're going to be able to pass the ball around, and as we say that, Weldon runs for the basket. Damian Solomon crashes the boards, tries to get a shot, doesn't get it to fall, but they did waste about 20 seconds there. They should have been a little more patient, I think. There's no shot clock here in high school, and they need to be a little more patient. They have a 6-point lead with just around 1:40 to go.
Cheltenham definitely did not have to pressure them into that. They took advantage of it themselves, but you can't fault them for trying to get easy points. Excellent effort on the part of Eric Wiggins. Blocks a jump shot from 25 feet out there, and then stays in the game and tries to keep it alive.
And he hurdles a photographer into motion. I mean, he's got athletic ability. It's just untapped. It's 1:33 left in the game. Fine performance here in the Norristown Area High School Gymnasium, and a fine job by our NASD TV staff.
Granham from beyond the arc, three-point attempt is no good. Granham has been quiet since the first quarter, and a great job by Marcus Green keeping that ball in the hands of Norristown. Jarrett Medley has the big target on him, and Green throws the ball off the target. It's out of bounds, and Norristown retains possession. Just over a minute left to go here in the game. Green makes like a human cannonball, gets fouled.
I want to take this opportunity to thank Director of Communications, Tony Koya. Our producer tonight is Sam Galbraith. I'm sorry, I don't know our camera person up there. She's doing a fine job, and I hope we have the audio tonight because we're going to get a lot of sounds out of this game. Norristown Area High School is doing a great job producing and directing these games. NASD TV is doing a great job putting them on and making it available for all our fans out there on Channel 3 local cable.
Marcus Green makes the first of his foul shots, extends the Norristown lead to 7 with $1:10 left to go on the clock. Another outstanding performance tonight being turned in by the Norristown cheerleading staff. They've been very entertaining all night, and this crowd hasn't needed much help, but they certainly have been there to provide what they can to root this Norristown Eagle team on. Right now they hold an 8-point lead with a minute left to go.
Green has 8 points, and that's just what the Norristown lead is, as number 20, Jared Medley's shot goes awry, and Eric Wiggins pulls it down, and we're going to cool it down right now, says Marcus Green. We're going to waste some time.
Wiggins does a great job getting into the air, pulling down that rebound. Green handling the ball, finds Solomon wide open underneath, and he'll be shooting 2 on the line. The calls against Granham, who has only found his way in the box score during the second half on the part of fouls and turnovers. Great job shutting him down.
Yeah, that was definitely probably the game plan coming out of the locker room from Coach McGee and his assistants. They definitely wanted to shut Granham down. They shut Markoff down in the first quarter and the second quarter. Now that they need to shut Granham down, that's exactly what they did. As you said, the only time he's getting any action is on the foul board.
Well, as Solomon's socks belie gravity, he looks surprised that he made his first shot. And Neil Schaefer with the knockaway.
Keeping my streak alive, touching that ball at least once in the game.
59-50 in favor of the Norristown Eagles. 46 seconds left to go. Norristown will have possession when we break from this timeout. And you can bet they'll be milking the clock.
You have 2 field generals out there in Maurice Allen and Marcus Green, and I know you hear these names again and again, but they're so important to the success of this team. Sure, you have Wiggins, and sure you have Weldon, and you have Damian Solomon coming off the bench, but you got to have 2 gentlemen like Maurice Allen and Marcus Green not only have a lot of experience, but a lot of skills out there to lead this team. And it doesn't matter whether one's in the game or both are in the game, they seem to control everything that happens on the offensive end, and they're right there every time picking the pocket on the defensive end.
The Cheltenham assistant coaches, as I said, a staff of many. They occupy 5 seats on that long bench for Cheltenham. One of the assistants comes out to counsel one of the referees.
I think what is happening is there's a lot of action behind the bench right now for Cheltenham, and they want to clear that area behind them so that we don't distract from what's going on. What's going on is on the court and not in the stands. I think sometimes the fans get carried away and think it's more of a competition in the stands than it is on the court.
Coach McGee's involvement and the public address announcer trying to quell the crowd, along with Mr. Fabrizio, the fine athletic director here at Norristown Area High School, and the security staff, trying to keep people off the court for the final 46 seconds of this game.
Now they have a police officer stationed right behind the Cheltenham bench. Norristown putting on a show in the second half.
It's a strapping policeman. He's a big fella. Inbound from Wiggins to Weldon. Someone's going to get fouled pretty soon if Cheltenham has their way. Danny Evans kicks it down to Maurice Allen. He can't make the shot, but only 35 seconds left to go, and a 9-point lead seems pretty comfortable right now. Medley down to West for the 3-point shot. It goes short. Grenham with the rebound, and he finally knocks the lid off that bucket. 59-52. Danny Evans can't decide what he wants to do with it, but Eric Wiggins knows exactly what to do. Grabs the ball.
It's okay. He's wasting time. Although those baskets didn't go in, they wasted 5 seconds off the clock.
Nice job with the rebound, and Alex West fouls Marcus Green. But Norristown seems to be everywhere, even with the missed shots and the lost opportunities from the field goal aspect. They're able to whiz around the court and keep their hands on the ball anyway. 12 seconds left to go, and I think we can count this one as a win for Norristown. Big win.
That's right. Coach Eveslav had a chance. He had a chance to come in and knock off the Eagles. The Eagles undefeated here at home. He had a chance to win this game, although it got a little out of hand there in the third quarter, which I call the blue and white quarter. And Norristown wound up the offense and made their presence known, and now they're going to come out with another victory as Marcus Green steps to the line. As you said, it seems that Norristown is always getting their hands on the ball. And I equate it to like a pinball game. There just seems to be an eagle flying here and flying there like a pinball off all the bumpers and buzzers.
Green can't make the foul shot, but Medley will take the last shot. Granham will take the last shot, a 3-pointer. Rebound by Wiggins. Waste some more time with a football pass down court. Allen gets his hands on it, and that'll end things tonight. 60-52 in favor of the Norristown Eagles. It was a great game on the part of both squads. Cheltenham early on looked like they had control pretty much through most of the third quarter. Unfortunately for Cheltenham and fortunately for Norristown, Cheltenham really didn't want to take control of this game and deliver that knockout punch. It just never came. They had a couple jabs, and they were able to keep Norristown in the ropes for a while, but they were unable to land the haymaker. Norristown hangs in this game, and at the very end, they deliver their own knockout punch in the form of Marcus Green.
All right, a quick stat here. Cheltenham only scored 19 points in that second half as opposed to Norristown's 33 points, and that was the difference there. The scoring for Cheltenham Panthers, Darian Prialou had 4 points, Zadarkov Markov had 6 points, Jared Medley added 7 points, Sam Granham had 12, Bruce Hall 10, and Alex West had 9. For the Eagles, Marcus Green with the free throws down the stretch there had 9 points. Maurice Allen, a good 10 points. Eric Wiggins, 13. Brad Weldon, I believe 15 or 17. I can't even read my own handwriting. Damian Solomon added 2. James Edmond 2. And Lee Fowler had 6. All the Eagles in scoring there, and that's what I think the key was. No single player was a highlight film tonight. They all shared in the victory as Norristown comes away, remaining undefeated in the Suburban 1 at 12-0, and
the MVP for, go ahead.
18 and 8.
18 and 2 overall.
18 and 2 overall.
12-0 in the league. The MVP of this game could have been the second half Norristown defense. They did a great job, and one statistic to illustrate that: Maurice Allen, 10 points, but they all came in the second half.
That's right.
On the flip side, Sam Granham, who was a presence in the first half, had 10 and only 2 in the second half. So there you see, Norristown stepped it up when it counted, and Cheltenham disappeared.
All right, our next broadcast will be the Hatboro-Horsham game here on February 5th. If you can't make it, you can watch it on NASD-TV, Channel 3, your local cable channel, and you'll see a lot of excitement in that game. For John Price, this is Neil Schaefer thanking everyone on our staff, NASD-TV presentation of Norristown basketball.